twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of love?
Thank you, Cleveland. We're really excited because Sandia Vista came in and sang a month ago, and I feel like they're ready to join your ranks. So thank you guys for coming in. JC, can you take a roll call for us?
President Galbraith?
Present.
Vice President Morgan?
Present.
Secretary Tyler?
Present.
Board Member Tripp?
Present.
Board Member Miller?
Present.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Tonight, Jeff Morgan's is joining us virtually just to let everyone know as he's traveling for work. So, but we'd like to welcome everyone out. If everyone could see what I can see right now, it's a nice full boardroom, and so it's really nice to have teachers, staff, and students with us here tonight. It always makes it a fun board meeting when we can have everyone here. Tonight's meeting will start off with some introductory comments by our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Visu Cleveland.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being with us this evening. We have a good portion of the folks here this evening are here because of commendations, and we have a lot of wonderful things to share with you this evening. We have the Rio Rancho High School Girls Powerlifting Program State Championship. And Todd Rash, who is our Executive Director of Athletics, will be sharing with you some information about this program. We'll also introduce the coach, Ali Salata, from Rio Rancho High School. And we really want to congratulate their team on their state championship. And these pictures are courtesy of the Albuquerque Journal and the NMAA. We also have some commendations for CTE and DECA. Dr. Chris Johnson, Principal of Career Technical Education, will make the introductions for these important programs this evening. And there is so much to celebrate. He will be sharing some of the achievements for CTE in the following areas: CTE organizations for DECA at Cleveland High School and Rio Rancho High School, recognition of CTE or student organization for Educators Rising at Cleveland High School. And that's always exciting because we hope that will bring teachers into our profession. And we're excited about their interest in that. And then the last is recognition of CTE Student Organization for Skills USA. And these are just some pictures of some of our CTA DECA winners. We also have a commendation for Best Communities for Music Education. Dr. Kurt Schmidt will be sharing information with the board about this prestigious recognition. We want you to know that Rio Rancho Public Schools has now received this national recognition 6 years in a row. Our commendations are also this evening for the NASP Western National Archery Tournament. Janice Chanel, Elementary School Improvement Officer, Michelle Havel, the principal of Maggie Cordova Elementary, and Toby Jackson, archery coach, have some special news to share with all of you about their archery program. And this picture is from Mountain Eagle in Utah. The team traveled to Mountain America Center in Sandy, Utah for their competition, and the whole team did well. And Belle Savory won the elementary bullseye division, earning a score of 275 out of 300. So we congratulate them and look forward to meeting them this evening. We have class of 2024 graduations are starting this Friday. We have graduations for Rio Rancho Cyber Academy Friday. We have Independence, Rio Rancho High School, and Cleveland High School coming up next week. And we want to congratulate all of our graduates this year. We have a total of 1,192 students who will be earning their high school diplomas. We honor our students. We thank our staff, our families, and friends for their generous support of these graduates. I would also remind everyone the last day of school has a shortened schedule for all students. We have in our business this evening our Fine Arts Education Annual Application. The board is being asked to consider approving this important application, which is the foundation of our funding for K-6 elementary fine arts education. And I would remind the way this is funded, it's funded outside of the SEG, and there are some proposed changes about that. There's discussion about flowing these funds through the SEG funding formula, and we are in opposition to that change, as it would negatively impact the funding for this program. This funding pays for the vast majority of our elementary fine arts programs, so it's a very important funding to our district, to our students, and to our staff. We think that by keeping those funds separate rather than running it through the formula, it is easier for both the legislature and community people to determine how those funds are actually being used as opposed to putting them in the general formula. And so when things flow through the formula for Rio Rancho Public Schools, we generally get less of it than other districts. And so that's why in this case, we think it's very important that it stays the way that it is. All right. We have also PSCOC, a broadband development and connectivity program. The board is being asked to consider approving this award from the Public School Capital Outlay Council, that's PSCOC. This allocation, which depends on the E-rate funding approval, will be used to complete fiber optic upgrades in the district, keep our district up and going. The amount allocated is $206,065.66, and it can only be used for PSCOC approved projects. Scott Leppelman, our Executive Director for IT, will provide additional information and answer questions for the board. We will have this evening an opportunity for the board to look at naming of the skilled trades building. You will recall the board has approved Rio Tech as the name for the complex where the CTE building is currently under construction. That's for the whole complex. And there will be at least one additional building that is planned for that site, and that will be the CNM Automotive Center. This request this evening is to name the building currently under construction where the high school classes will be offered, and Carl Leppelman, our Chief Academic Officer, will present the recommended name for the facility. This name has been shared with CNM. They offered one suggestion, and that has been incorporated into the proposed name you will hear this evening. And then we hope that everyone will have a safe and happy summer. The last day of school is May the 24th. I would also like to just add in my comments, just very briefly, two things. One of them is we have been working on our district budget, and we are dealing with a significant shortfall, as are many of the other districts that are medium sized, like Las Cruces, Santa Fe, Hobbs, Gadsden, to name a few. And so we're not quite sure what happened this year in terms of the funding formula, but we know that we are significantly short. So we have been in conversations with state officials, and I'll do a more formal presentation to the board about that in the future. But I want you to know we have been talking with the legislature, with the governor's office, with key staffers. We met with our own delegation to try to get some changes. And of course, the changes to to the budget and the allocations can only be made by the New Mexico legislature because they're the appropriators. And so it would require going back to them at some time to try to see if there's any adjustments that can be made at this point. We are okay this year. We have had over the years a strong commitment to having a fund balance. And so the real challenge for the district will not be this year, but it'll be next year because that fund reserve will be gone. So we are working through that, and we have been working hours and hours. I would want you to know our finance staff has worked very hard, as has other cabinet members, to try to kind of work out where we're going this next year. So we're okay this year. We've got to have a change. We absolutely have to figure out how to get this remedied, and we will be working this year very hard to get that issue resolved. Again, we are not the only district. Las Cruces is short quite a bit, Santa Fe, several other districts. And so we've got some company in terms of trying to work with the legislature to try to get a resolution to that. The other thing I would say this evening, we have a lot of folks here from Puesta. Always glad to see you. Very glad to hear your comments. We are not working on this at this time. All of our energies are going into the budget and trying to get things resolved before the end of the school year. We are working on a set of questions. We've about got finished. We have a whole lot of them that have been presented, and we're getting written responses, and those should go out very soon. So I want you to know that is coming, and you're very welcome to speak. But I did want you to know that right now we are working on budget at the end of the year, and we will. It has consumed us pretty much for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
No.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Cleveland. Okay, we'll now go to approve the prioritized agenda and proposed time allocations.
Madam President, this is Board Member Tyler. I'd like to make a motion to approve the prioritized agenda and proposed time allocations with removing item G10 from the agenda.
Board Member Gary Tripp, I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Jessica Tyler and a second by Gary Tripp. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Our next is our executive session report. So the board met in a closed executive session for the purpose of discussing limited personnel matters as permitted under Section 10-15-1H2 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act, specifically for the board and superintendent to discuss the superintendent's end of year 2023-24 evaluation. Now we will go into commendations. So our first commendation is the recognition of the RRHS head coach, Ali Salata, and the Rio Rancho High School girls powerlifting program. We would like to have Todd Resch come up, and he's our executive director of athletics, to present.
The sound of success. Medals clanging. Good evening, Board President Galbraith, Superintendent Cleveland, members of the board. This evening, I would like to recognize the Rio Rancho High School girls powerlifting program and head coaches Ali Salata and Rocky Ramirez for winning the district's first ever girls powerlifting state championship on April 12th. This championship is the district's 6th for the school year. It also marks the 49th state championship for Rio Rancho High School and the 97th for the Rio Rancho Public Schools. Coaches Salata and Ramirez have done an outstanding job with this program, and we are here to congratulate and to recognize them.
I wasn't expecting to see a speech, but a heck of a season for the girls. This is as Todd said, this is the first ever female girls championship. We've had last year they took 3rd place and the boys took 1st, and this year they swapped it. They took state, and the boys took third. Heck of a job. Thank you, girls, for being hard workers in the gym and dedicating yourself daily in the gym, not only in sports, but also academically. Coach.
I just want to thank you guys for having us here today. It really means a lot. Coming from an alumni of Rio Rancho, this really means the world to me. Girls, you guys did it. Look at you wearing those medals around your neck. We are so proud of you. Every single one of us at the school, single one of us here in the district. You guys are going to do great things in life. And just from what we saw this past 3 months of the season, the world is yours. So keep working hard, put in work every day, and you'll get rewarded. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Try to catch them. Hey, ladies, before you sit down, can I grab them before they sit down? Do you have any of you guys want to say anything? Maybe is there one of you guys that kind of represents?
Yeah, so
Everyone's like her.
this is Ariana Valenzuela, and she is not only an individual state champ, she is our team captain, and she just wants to say a few words.
Oh, love it.
Again, thank you so much for letting us represent Rio Rancho. And like my coaches said, a lot of dedication, not only from my teammates, but my coaches as well. It wouldn't have been possible without them. So a huge thank you to them. And hard work. This is what you get with hard work. It's not given. It's very much earned. But yeah,
Great.
Good job to every one of my teammates too.
You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Anyone from the board want to add anything?
Would you mind introducing yourselves? Yeah, the girls. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
all pushing the.
Yeah.
My name is Veronica Atencio. Oh, I'm graduating this year, 2024.
All right.
I'm Anna Tafoya. I'm in grade 12 and I'm graduating this year.
Let's get a picture.
I'm Kyra Romero and I'm graduating in 2024.
I'm Cecilia Gomez, and I'm graduating this year.
I'm Mariana Valenzuela and I graduate this year.
I'm Taryn Cruz and I graduate next year.
Oh, good.
I'm Alea Gonzalez and I graduate 2027.
I'm Michaela Ellis, and I graduate class of 2026.
I'm Jada Smith and I graduate class of 2026.
Wonderful.
We're gonna get a picture.
Hold on,
of
we're
you.
going to get a photo.
You're just never leaving. Is that?
Get in that picture.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 1. Good. Thank you.
I'm like watching.
Good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you all. I remember you as athletes. Yeah.
Are you still doing jump?
I am. I know. Congratulations.
You want to shake hands too? All right. How about a 5-5?
Give her knuckles. Give her knuckles.
Oh, you like it then? You're the sweetest.
So cute.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so for our next recognitions, we'd like to invite Chris Johnson, Dr. Chris Johnson. He's our principal of the Clerk Technical Education Center. And I think we have others who are also coming up with him. But I think we'll just kind of go through them all. So I'm going to announce them all really quick, and then you can have everyone come up as they come. So we're going to be recognizing the CTE Student Organization for DECA at CHS at Rio Rancho High School, and then Student Organization for Educators Rising at both Rio Rancho and at Cleveland. And we will also be doing a recognition, the Student Organization for Skills USA. So I'm going to turn that time to you all, and you can work through those, okay?
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Cleveland, thank you very much. I have to tell you, in 27 years of education, this by far is the most exciting part, when we get to recognize students that are actually reaching their full potential. And this outstanding group of individuals is doing just that and representing Rio Rancho Public Schools in a very positive light. In addition to that, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that students that get involved at this level, it's been proven, have a 98% graduation rate. So this is something we can do that benefits the entire school cultures of all areas. I have the honor of working with Ms. Shelley Kinnunen. Shelley has been a CTSO advisor over 3 states at the same time. She understands the meaning of it, the logistics of it, and we are fortunate enough to have her on our staff. So I'm going to turn this over to Shelley as she can explain what's going on a little better.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Madam President, board members, Dr. Cleveland, thank you for having us here tonight and for allowing us to recognize our CTSO members. Would our members from DECA, both teachers and advisors, please come to the front of the room? So we're really excited to be able to announce that on the DECA state officer team, there's only 4 student members of the state officer team, and 2 of those members come from Rio Rancho Public Schools. We have Ella Schaefer from Rio Rancho High School and Lily Goodmacher from Cleveland High School that are both state officers. So they make up half of the state executive council for DECA. Also this year, DECA has already competed at their international ICDC, International Career Development Conference that took place in April, and we had 2 members from Rio Rancho High School that both made top 10 in their competitive events. I would be remiss if I did not tell you that there's over 150 competitors in each event at ICDC and over 23,000 individuals that attended that conference. So to have 2 students stand on stage in top 10 in their events is quite the honor. And tonight we have with us Abe Hoffman, who did that. And of course, none of this would be possible without their wonderful advisors. And so tonight we have Ray McKinney with us from Rio Rancho High School, and also Aaron Carica and Chris Quintana from Cleveland.
Stay up here. The next group we'd like to recognize is one very near and dear to my heart, because this is our future educators. We talk about growing our own, and nobody's doing that better than Rio Rancho Public Schools. So at this time, I'd like to call up all Educator Rising students and advisors, please. These are the future educators for us. We're growing our own. As we heard during the Power Lifters, one of them had actually come back and is on staff. And what a wonderful thing when they can bring that level of culture to our school district. But the Educator Riser group had 15 qualified for our national conference, and they will be competing in late June once again. So we're very proud of them.
And the advisors that we have tonight are from Cleveland, Jennifer Ortiz and Katie, I'm so sorry, from Rio Rancho High School. Yes. Okay. And last but certainly not least, could we please have our Skills USA students and advisors come to the front? I'm going to let Dr. Johnson speak in just a minute about our automotive program and the work that they have done this year through Skills USA, but I also want to mention our criminal justice program at Cleveland High School and the wonderful work that they are doing. They had 10 students qualified to go to the National Skills Leadership Conference that also takes place at the end of June. And John Booker, their advisor, was named New Advisor of the Year. With over 50 high schools that have Skills USA in the state of New Mexico, to know that our own was named New Advisor of the Year, that's pretty incredible.
Madam President, Dr. Cleveland, members of the board, good evening. I'd really like to talk about a couple of things that's going on with our automotive program. Over the last 2.5 years, it really has grown under the advice of Michael Tatum. Mr. Tatum is a master mechanic. He takes pride in everything he does. And this year, we really found the cream of the crop with some of our students. So Jaden Cutts, Taylor Townsend, and Nathan Moya designed an engine that runs off of water. And so that engine is going to be competing at the end of June at the Skills USA. They are state champions, so they are here today as well. They really love the mechanics and automotives, and he's done a great job. So thank you, Mr. Tatum, and our participants.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. It is my honor to be the CT director and be able to support all this with the travel budget that we obtain both from grants and the support of this district. As you can imagine, it takes a little bit to take students across the country to compete, but it is so worth it. But programs don't build themselves. So I would really like to recognize all of our teachers that have put their blood, sweat, and tears into every bit. All the money doesn't mean anything if we don't have the driver behind it and showing what students are really, truly capable of. So instructors, thank you very much.
Why don't we have everyone come around to the front, around, and we'll try to get a photo really quickly. Just come on around.
Get a picture.
Congratulations to you all.
It's fabulous.
You're going to have to really like each other and come in closer.
Introduce
yourself.
Stand with my guys.
Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. So many. If any students really want to give a couple comments, I'm really excited about some of the things you guys just talked about. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, my name is Taylor Townsend. What? Oh, Rio Rancho High School, and we all graduate in 2025. So, we just found an engine, and it started as just something that we wanted to do for a project to present to underclassmen. And we got it to run off of mason jars and like $12 off of other stuff. And then, so after that ran, we were like, let's see what we can do. And so we did a couple other things with bigger bottles, plastic bottles instead of mason jars, because drilling holes in mason jars is so difficult. And so we built it out of plastic jars, plastic water bottles, and a little more equipment. And then now we're just making things bigger and better so we can win that gold in nationals as well.
That's awesome.
Hello, my name is Abe Hoffman. I attend Rio Rancho High School, and I graduate next year in the year of 2025. I wanted to say that our other competitor, Marcela Silva, is in Oklahoma, so she cannot be recognized here at the board meeting, but I would be remiss if I did not get her name out there. She is a wonderful person, and she's very well deserving of that top 10 honor at ICDC. So thank you for your time today, and I hope you have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Hello, my name is Katie Nelson. I co-sponsor Educators Rising at Rio Rancho High School with Marty Gutierrez. I just wanted to say that based on the club that I am seeing and Teachers Academy, we are very excited for the future of the teachers that are coming from this district. So we should be proud, and I am quite grateful to call these ladies colleagues in 4 to 5 years, okay? But yes, we should be very excited for what we have to go out into the world to educate and change.
Great. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lana Leatherberry, and this is one of my teammates, Cosma. And our other teammate, Caitlin Burke, could unfortunately not make it. And then we had our 2 other gold medalists, Faith Young with extemporaneous speech, and then Aiden Noss with law enforcement.
we just want to say that thank you for having us today. And
So my name is Kosma Jaszczyk. If anyone would wonder what was the last name. Dear Madam President, Dr. Cleveland, board members, I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity. I come from Poland and I was placed as an exchange student within the Rio Rancho Public Schools. And that was a great opportunity that was given to me as a person coming from totally different country. I was treated as a friend, as a citizen, so-called, as a part of the community here. I greatly enjoyed the opportunities given by CTE and by other groups that Cleveland High School provides. And I am greatly honored to say that I was trained by Mr. John Booker and Mrs. Kristen Sidor. They are great advisors, and the whole district is a great opportunity for the students and for myself as a person coming from abroad. So that's a few words for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
good evening. My name's Ella Schaefer. I'm one of the state DECA officers. Lily Goodmacher isn't here, but I want to make her recognized just as one of our officers as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right. We have more. So we have more. All right. Our next commendation is our NMAA State Band contestant, NMAA State Choir Contest. And Kurt Schmidt, Dr. Kurt Schmidt, our Executive Director of Fine Arts, will be presenting this.
I would invite the directors and the students to come forward from the time zone in the back of the room.
Come on around.
Yeah, you're even welcome to come right in front of us.
And as they're coming up, these are representatives from the different ensembles that we'll be recognizing tonight. So. Not quite as many during All State, so.
There you are.
Thanks.
Awesome.
So President Galbraith, members of the board, Dr. Cleveland, I would like to present for commendation tonight 3 ensembles, all of whom represented Rio Rancho Public Schools last month at the NMAA State Choir and Band Contests. The Lincoln Middle School Choir and their director, Mr. Miguel Jaramillo, garnered 3rd place in the Middle School Choir Division. Cleveland High School Concert Choir, under the direction of Ms. Yadira Flam, members of whom you've heard earlier, also took 3rd place in the high school Class 5A. Finally, Cleveland High School Wind Symphony, directed by Mr. Daniel Holmes, earned the 1st place trophy in the Class 5A Band Contest. These stellar ensembles represent the high achievement that can be reached through hard work, dedication, and of course, exemplary teaching. Congratulations to Mr. Holmes, Ms. Flam, Mr. Jaramillo, and their students. And I don't know if the teachers want to say anything, but I invite them to come forward.
Good evening. I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity, for allowing us to have excellent programs, for the funding, and just the support overall in the community. I want to thank these students for their commitment, their hard work, and for their parents for always being there for us. And we love them very much. Thank you.
Yes, hello. I'd just like to reiterate what Ms. Flam said. It truly takes a village, and we are so grateful for the board, Dr. Schmidt, and the administration at Cleveland High School for all their support. We'd like to thank all the parents and the counselors at the school, and of course, these wonderful students for all their hard work and their wonderful performance at the state band contest.
I guess I'll just say one word, ditto.
I just want to say thank you. I'm actually a Rio Rancho High School grad as well, so it was so nice to come back to Rio Rancho Public Schools and serve. And students, thank you so much for a wonderful year. It was actually my first year at Lincoln Middle School, and they have done amazing work. And yeah, that's what you get when you work hard. So great job, guys.
Do you want to get a picture? Can we get a picture? We're doing
let's
pictures.
Get together.
We want pictures of all the groups. Maybe a double line, if we could. I think we've got a wide angle. So why don't those of you here just come and start a second one? Thank you. All right. Maybe three.
I'm up all the way up here and I'm still on my tippy toes.
That's good.
Can you see them down below?
Come on up, parents.
Okay. We good? Everyone's good?
All right.
All right. Thank you, students. For congratulations. And our next is the 2024 Best Communities for Music Education.
President Galbraith, members of the board, Dr. Cleveland, I'm happy to present to you tonight for commendation the Rio Rancho Public School District itself. This spring, Rio Rancho Public Schools was designated as a, quote, best community for music education by the National Association of Music Merchants Foundation. This designation was presented to only 975 school districts in the country, and RRPS is only one of 4 districts in the state to receive it. This is the 6th year in a row, as Dr. Cleveland mentioned, that the district has received this designation. Rio Rancho Public Schools has fostered and supported exemplary programs in music during its history. We have in place structures and programs that ensure quality music education to all students in Rio Rancho. However, the receipt of this designation is most of all a testament to the highly qualified, dedicated, and hardworking teachers we have here in the district. Congratulations to these teachers, their students, and Rio Rancho Public Schools.
All right, thank you. Okay, and our last commendation for the night, and I have to say thank you to all of them for being so patient for the last little bit as we've gone through all these. So this is our NASP Western National Archery Tournament, and we have, and Janice Chanel, our elementary school improvement officer, will be presenting.
Never had such a warm welcome before. Madam President, members of the board, and Dr. Cleveland, we started with high school, we got to middle school, now we're at elementary, so that's pretty exciting. I'm going to have Principal Michelle Havel and Coach Toby Jackson come up and tell you a little bit more about their archery club and the success that they've had. But before that, I want to take you back 6 years when we started with extended learning programs, and we started with 2 schools and about 150 kids that participated. And it was kind of a push to get our teachers to join. This year alone, in only elementary, I'm not speaking for secondary, in 6 years, we now have 2,000 students who have participated in our elementary schools and before and after clubs and tutoring. That's 1/3 of our entire elementary population. So we are so proud of our schools, our teachers, our principals, and most importantly, our students who have chosen to join and come early and stay late to be part of what we have here to offer in Rio Rancho, and we really want the legislature to give us money to keep it going.
Agreed.
And so I'm going to turn it over to our 2 wonderful leaders of Maggie Cordova so they can tell you about the excellent progress this team has made.
Good evening, President Galbraith, members of the board, and Dr. Cleveland. This is our 2024 New Mexico State Champion team for archery, and that is for the whole state of New Mexico. Even more exciting, I know we do also have a young man on our team this year who is the state championship for elementary boys, and that's Emery Barton. So I'm going to single him out for a second. So I know Coach will say a few words, but I know he also won't brag on himself enough. So just a little history. This is a program that's been growing and only more successful. Last year, we also had the state champion for boys and the state championship winner for girls, as well as the young lady that was pictured. She went on last year to win the Western Nationals for all elementary girls. This archery program really has grown through the years. It does include 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, where we do competitions throughout the state, mostly Albuquerque, Rio Rancho area. This team was able to travel to Sandy, Utah, and I will tell you, it was early and it was pouring, and some got there really early and some got there really late, but we all made it in time to shoot. It was pretty exciting just to see. This was really our first activity that we opened back up after schools had gone remote for a substantial amount of time. And I know those first competitions where I learned how to score probably inaccurately. We didn't even have parents in the audience yet. So Coach has really been rebuilding and constantly building and bringing students into this program with a great success. And it's just been a really big deal for elementary. Secondary has a lot of great athletic things, but we're trying to bring that down to elementary. Also, Coach Jackson's work has enabled a large number of students who've moved on specifically to Lincoln. They actually started their own team this year, and they're fairly competitive too, just having kiddos with at least 3 years of experience. So it's great to see that continuity for the kids. So I will have Coach Jackson say a few words.
Okay, I'd like to thank the board for this commendation. This community really deserves it. They've done a great job. I want to thank Ms. Havel and Ms. Wood, my administrators, for putting up with us all year long in the school. I in particular want to thank all the parents of these students. Without them, we could not do this at all. So give them a nice round. These students in particular have done a super job. I've been involved with the archery program since 2012, although I've only been the coach of the team for 5 or 6 years now, 7 maybe. I don't know. I can't keep track. Through COVID anyway. This team has done a tremendous job. The 5th grade students in this team have now finished 3rd, 1st, and 1st in the last 3 years at state, which of course means the 4th graders have now finished 1st and 1st 2 years in the state. They've been very successful. And as far as the archery program goes in Rio Rancho and statewide, both the high schools have teams now, and all of the mid schools had teams this year. So far, we're still the only elementary school team in Rio Rancho, but that's more of a can we find a coach issue at most of the schools. There are several of the schools that are teaching it at the schools. Just haven't found a coach yet. As soon as they find a coach, there'll be teams all over, I'm sure. So these guys did a super job. State champion this year. We had, I think, 9 kids finish in the top 10. They do a top 10 girls and a top 10 boys. I think we had 5 girls and 4 boys finish in the top 10. Did a really nice job. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll get a picture with all of you guys if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sound good?
You're going to have to make a double line.
Yeah, maybe a triple line, double line.
See, parents aren't shy.
Yankee!
Thanks for coming in. Thanks, guys. Some of you guys are so
You did a fabulous job.
amazing job. Amazing job. Thank you, guys.
You want to give them 5 minutes to get out?
Well, I think I'll just pause for a moment. We had a lot of commendations today because it's the end of the school year. And so we're hoping to get so many in. And so we're so grateful to have so many in with us today. It's always a really sweet part of the meeting when we get to have students here. So thank you to all of them who came in today. So the next part of our meeting will be our public comment part. We receive public comment in two parts, as many know. So first, we receive public comment through our online form. And then second, we receive public comment through those who come in person. And so tonight, I'll first start with our public comment that came in on our online form. These tonight will be summarized. We received 9 public comments in regards to Puesta del Sol. And asking us to seek different ways for our pre-K program. Now for our in-person public comment, we receive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll have 5 who will be giving public comment tonight. As we go through our public comment, each person will be allowed to speak for 3 minutes. JC over here, she will have a timer. And when that timer goes off, we ask that you sit back down just so that we can keep it fair for everyone who's giving public comment tonight. Because this everyone all the agenda topics or everything that I'm seeing here for a topic is not on our board agenda. We will not be able to respond back to it tonight. And so we'll give you a smile as you come up and as you sit back down, but we won't be able to address the item that you're talking about tonight. And with that, we'll go ahead and start with our first public comment, which is Jessica Metz, if she'd like to come up to the podium. And we'll start the timer when you start talking.
Good evening, Dr. Cleveland, President Galbraith, and esteemed board members. I'm a 3rd grade teacher at Puesta. We'll have a few other teachers following me. We are speaking on behalf of our students, staff, family, and entire Puesta community. We do support the need for and benefits of preschool. At the same time, we wholeheartedly believe full-day preschool can be added to RRPS to benefit a greater population of pre-K students with support that will jumpstart their success in education across Rio Rancho without dissolving and repurposing our beloved school. Everything we share with you today is intended with the utmost respect, and it is our hope you will genuinely listen with open hearts and minds. We want to be a part of a solution that is right for all students. These are some facts about Puesta del Sol. We are a Title I school, and within that, it helps students in sometimes challenging backgrounds and circumstances to be able to meet the same high academic standards expected for all children. Nearly 600 students will lose their neighborhood school and be dispersed to schools that may not be able to meet the diverse needs. Many families do not have transportation and walk to our school. Moving their children further away would make attending school events such as Meet the Teacher, Math Night, conferences, Science Night, the book fair, school barbecues, field trips, volunteering opportunities, all of which increase family involvement and in doing so increase student success. Makes this nearly impossible. About 22% of our student population are English learners. Some are first-generation English speakers whose parents report they have learned at Puesta. Award-winning multi-year bilingual and dual language program led by teachers with a wealth of experience with bilingual dual language students and the great ability to connect with families. We are currently one of only 2 elementary schools housing this program. 73% of our students are part of a minority population. 87% of low socioeconomic status. An extremely successful and dedicated food pantry at Puesta feeds 40 to 50 families per week in our community. They have served a minimum of 6,500 families in 7 years of operation. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next public comment will be Sally Davis.
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Cleveland, members of the board. Just a few more facts to share about Puesta del Sol. Isaiah's backpack program sends 30 to 40 students per week with a backpack of food each weekend. This program has served around 1,200 students in 10 years. For some of our students, Puesta is their only source of meals. The food pantry in Isaiah's backpack will dissolve with the school, leaving families to navigate the difficult landscape of getting out of food insecurity in an already difficult time for many. 40 Spanish spelling bee contestants, highest representation by a school in the district, came from Puesta. Puesta was the only elementary school represented with a team at the middle school robotics competition. One team placed in the top 20. In addition, numerous programs during, after the school day will be gone, such as reading, tutoring for every grade level, science club, student council, digital defenders, Native American club, Frisbee golf, Unified Special Olympics basketball, running club, Dungeons and Dragons, choir, orchestra, band, tennis lessons provided by an EA for students with special needs, Good News Club, Tech Team, Eagle Eeks, Arts and Crafts Club. We are discussing training a grade level next year to be peer mediators. Puesta was also the first elementary school to host NDI, the National Dance Institute program. It is now in 3 other RRPS schools. Mr. Smith started STEAM Lab at Puesta that is now a district-wide class. Science Club and 24 Hours of Science, which many kids look forward to at Puesta, that helps increase the likelihood of improving the success of minorities and underprivileged students finding careers in STEAM in the future. A new and improved student council at Puesta that is holding important initiatives within our school community and beyond, helping students come to the realization that their voice and action matter in making the world a better place. 2 reading interventionists and 1 math interventionist also work closely with our students at Puesta to lead them to success. We also have an exemplar walk to intervention school-wide model and 180 of our students on IEPs. That is 31% of our student population. Having all these students placed in other schools will cause a strain on the special education teachers who already have large caseloads, as well as force students to somehow quickly make connections with special education staff when they may already have a hard time doing so. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next will be Aline Layden.
Good evening, Dr. Cleveland and members of the board. Some more facts to share about our beloved Puesta is about 100 of our staff members would be forced to relocate. Some will leave Rio Rancho Public Schools altogether, causing us to lose dedicated professionals. And while the option has been given to stay and teach pre-K, many teachers don't have the time, energy, or resources to get a pre-K licensure. The district most likely does not have funds to support this and will have an extremely difficult time staffing a new full-day pre-K. Also, petition facts, 2,200 signatures and 42 comments in support of keeping Puesta as an elementary school. The petition has a starting date of April 9th. The numbers are rising daily. Puesta del Sol was established in 1983 and it became part of Rio Rancho Public Schools in 1994. Over 40 years of history, something to be really proud of. Generations of families have attended Puesta and many upcoming generations are looking forward to attending the school of their family members. We all take great pride in this as well. Puesta is the heart of a soul of a community rooted in culture, diversity, pride, compassion, multi-generational, hardworking, and humble people. So some of the possible solutions that we've talked about. Preschools at the elementary school sites, some district staff were already thinking this was going to be an option presented, and we were hoping for it. One preschool at Puesta, using just one of our wings until a preschool building can be funded. This would solve the immediate problem while allowing the district time and resources to find an unhurried approach to full-day preschool that will also have to be adjusted or added to the immediate future. And house preschools in smaller cohorts. An example could be Puesta, Maggie, Joe Harris, and even at Martin Luther King. Preschool programs at the high schools and or the new CTE building. El Dorado High School in Albuquerque has an effective model, and we did send board members all of this information. Also, research vacant buildings in southern Rio Rancho as possible sites, placing portables on a few sites, utilizing the basement at Rio Rancho Middle School, lobby the state for funding to build a preschool, and special bond election. And we have notes here that President Galbraith also stated at the last board meeting that Rio Rancho voters historically vote in favor of school bonds. And we've offered many options on the Google form, but no longer have access to it. And so how about a short-term solution that does not have long-term consequences until we have the funding for a permanent long-term facility? Thank you.
Thank you. Our next is Samantha Armendariz.
Good evening, Dr. Cleveland and board members. Some short-term effects we believe this preschool would have. Very low staff and student morale, difficult for teachers and students to focus on teaching and learning with this hanging over our school. Disruption to learning due to necessary construction during the school year to make Puesta preschool compliant. Substantial stress. Strain on other RRPS schools absorbing our students. Stress of redrawing the district boundaries. We will lose many students to charter and private schools, something Rio Rancho is already struggling with. Difficulty administering state-mandated testing with this on the minds of teachers. Our community has become more united. Some long-term effects. Food insecurity for approximately 200 families per month. Inability for many families to attend school events. Strain on other RRPS schools absorbing our students. Loss of community. Loss of stability. Loss of confidence, security, and possibly effective services for our EL and bilingual students and families. Loss of several programs stated earlier. Less enrollment at RRPS due to people's frustration with this decision. Loss of teacher and student connections that have been generations in the making. Negative emotional impact on staff and students alike, especially those with mental health diagnoses such as anxiety, depression, or emotional disturbance. Our students could potentially not have all their needs met in a bigger school population with staff that have not been working with them and truly know and understand their needs and how to meet them. There are research studies showing the negative effects of closing schools on the current population of a school and the school district. Thank you.
Thank you. And our last public comment for tonight is Adonis Frome. That makes more sense.
I can write it out. It looks. Good evening, Dr. Cleveland and school board. I'm just going to wrap us up here with, there are lots of great things happening here at Puesta. Our test scores might not represent all the wonderful skills and contributions our staff and students are showing daily, but we are working on those test scores too. Our students are way more than numbers and tests. Please help us do what's right for our students. We want our students to have a voice. They deserve so much more than to take a back seat to a preschool program. We agree that preschool is important, but not at the expense of the solution of dissolving our community. We would never wish this stress, uncertainty, and heartbreak on any community. We are respectfully requesting that you consider other options and please give us peace of mind in keeping our community together so that we can get back to fully focusing our efforts on teaching and caring for our students. Please assure us that they will stay open, that we will stay open as an elementary school. If that is not possible, then give us that respect of telling us that as well so we can know how so we know how to attempt to proceed under these difficult circumstances. We're asking respectfully for transparency and what is leading to the discussion of Puesta being closed as an elementary school. We are willing to do whatever it takes to keep our school open and help our students be successful. We've always done this, but for some reason it appears we are falling short. Please give us the information, support, tools, and chance to make things right. If we don't know what needs to be done or fixed, we can't work on it. If it is our test scores, we can address that and create an appropriate action plan for our students. In our Puesta community, we have a simple motto, Puesta forever. We sure hope to keep this going, and we hope you will help us ensure this to stay true. Thank you.
All right, we just want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Thanks for coming in and giving public comment. And at our regular board meetings, you're always welcome to do that and also use our public comment form. So thank you. And we'll now move to approve the consent agenda.
Board Member Tyler, I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Board Member Jeff Morgan, a second.
Okay, we have a motion by Jessica Tyler and a second by Jeff Morgan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries 5-0. Okay, we'll move into the business portion of our meeting tonight. We'll start with considering the approval of the Fine Arts Education Act application for 24-25. Dr. Kurt Schmidt, our Executive Director of Fine Arts, will present.
President Galbraith, Dr. Cleveland, members of the board, thank you for the opportunity to go over the application for this year. Next slide. So what is the FAEA? The FAEA stands for Fine Arts Education Act. It's over 20 years old now. It is an act that runs money through the SEG, but it's their program units so that it's categorized as only fine arts spending. And ideally it should only be spent on fine arts education from the K through 6 level. I forget what else I have up on this slide. Yes, and we have to apply for these funds every year through this application. One misconception about this is that it's a grant. It is not a grant. It has never been a grant. However, it has aspects of a grant in that we need to apply for the funds, but the funds do come through the 910B5 form every year, categorized for fine arts education. Next slide. So I'm going to make a slight detour, and Dr. Cleveland alluded to this earlier. If we can hit the slide one more time. Yes. So the Legislative Education Study Committee is looking at a way of running these funds through the SEG generally. We in the state think it's a bad idea to do this. As Dr. Cleveland mentioned, we are usually shortchanged when this occurs. This came from the LESC study committee, and in their report from December of last year, they mentioned that the reasoning is that if the arts are so important, then they should be given the due respect as a core subject and run through the formula. This seems backward thinking in our point. If you really honor something and really think it's that important, it should be set apart and kept special, so that to make sure that those funds are spent on fine arts. We are concerned that if it's run through the SEG, especially in smaller districts, I think we'll be fine because we have such great support here for the arts. But in other districts, the money will get lost. They'll forget about programs, and those programs will be shortchanged. So we are suggesting to the LESC this week when they meet in Belen, this is a bad idea. I also chair the New Mexico Advisory Council on Arts Education. I'll be going down there to state the council's dissatisfaction with this proposal. Dr. Cleveland has given me permission to speak on behalf of the district also, that this is not a good thing. So that's just a slight detour about the Fine Arts Education Act. We'll keep you informed as that unfolds. So the Fine Arts Advisory Council is part of the act that we need to maintain a council for advisement on how to spend the funds for vision, goals, et cetera. We meet twice a year. It's made up of the content leaders and parents in the district. So the vision is the same as of council. This council is the same as the the Department of Fine Arts in general. Our vision is to help all students discover the arts, and our mission is that the Rio Rancho Public Schools Arts Advisory Council and the department as a whole is dedicated to a diversity of representation in its body. The FAAC also seeks to promote fine arts to ensure that each child receives instruction in visual and performing arts by high-quality educators as part of a comprehensive education. We have to come up with measurable goals and objectives. I'll read the general goals here. First is arts literacy. We want to make sure kids can swim freely in the art of their choice. They understand the language, etc. Prepare and present artistic works. That's one of the 4 artistic processes of arts education, is to present what you have done, the creativity, and that what you've done in the classroom should be presented for the public or the rest of the school, etc. And also arts integration, which you'll hear a little bit more about in the June meeting. Arts integration is a way to take an art form and another content and using them together to obtain objectives in both. So it's not simply singing the ABC song to learn the alphabet. That's arts enhanced education. Arts integration is when there are met objectives in both contents and that students achieve in both areas. So again, we'll speak more about that at a later date. But those are the 3 goals of the Fine Arts Education Act and the FAAC. So for the next year, the funding formula for FAEA is to take the unit value, multiply it by the 80 and 120 day average, and then multiply by the multiplier, which is 0.055, which is a change in the last couple of years due to a lot of effort to get that raised by 0.05 to create a little bit more funds for fine arts at the elementary level. This year, the unit value is $6,442.55. The average of the 80 and 120 day is 8,088.5. Multiply that times the multiplier, and it comes to $2,866,081.11. I'm off by about, David Vigil says I'm off by about $3 and some cents, but it's in our favor. So I'm happy to hear that. But that's roughly 2.8 million we'll be receiving through the Fine Arts Education Act this year. So what does this cover? It covers all the salaries of art and music teachers in the district. It covers their salaries, it covers their professional development, it covers supplies for the students, it covers transportation. This is a K through 6 program because 6th grade is often in elementary school. Ours, of course, are in the middle schools. So the middle school programs, the 6th graders do benefit from this. So we cover transportation for certain events, professional development for those middle school teachers. I think, and of course, instructional materials and supplies, instruments and equipment for fine arts programs, etc. The budget also helps us with partnerships that we have with the Santa Fe Opera and the Kennedy Center. The program is called New Mexico Art. That's New Mexico Alliance for Responsive Teaching, and it's through the Kennedy Center, which says that you need to have an arts organization and a school district, at least one, to form a partnership. And because of that partnership that we have with the Santa Fe Opera, along with Los Lunas Public Schools, Albuquerque Public Schools, and Santa Fe Public Schools, we provide professional development in the area of arts integration free of charge for our staff, 4 or 5 sessions throughout the year. It also helps with our partnership with the Santa Fe Opera in the student-produced operas at the elementary level and at the middle school level. Middle schools in the fall, elementary through the SAFE programs are in the afternoon, in the spring. And the process here, it's very much process-driven. Teaching artists come in with our students. They work on the students write with guidance from experienced teachers to come up with their own lyrics, their own storyline, their own music even, and then they perform these mini operas at the end of every semester. It's a delight to see. So it's a great way to engage students in the arts. We also have a partnership that's funded through FAEA with the National Dance Institute in New Mexico. That's run at 4 of our elementary schools, 2 in the fall, 2 in the spring. It's targeted for 4th graders, for movement classes to get them up and moving, feel confident about themselves, working hard, eating healthfully, etc. So those are some of the partnerships that are funded through the FAA and which we'll be able to maintain next year. Staffing for elementary, we have 11 art teachers and 13 music teachers. As I mentioned, their salaries and benefits are covered through the FAEA. Each elementary school has at least one full-time art teacher and at least one full-time art teacher and at least one full-time music teacher. 2 of our elementary schools, because of their size, have 2 music teachers. At the staffing at the 6th grade level, we have 6 art teachers, 16 music teachers, and 1 drama teacher. And the last few slides are just some pictures. This is NDI New Mexico running a class with our 4th graders. I'm not sure. I think it's at, thank you, Puesta. Glad some people recognize the students. And the next slide, again, the elementary art show, which was just taken down not too long ago. We also have funds to run a 5th grade honor choir, and this is totally staff driven. They put this together themselves, but they take students from all the elementary schools to form a 5th grade honor choir and had a magnificent time, did a marvelous performance during the school year. And lastly, this is some artwork from one of the middle school teachers. Is from Eagle Ridge. And I believe the sticky note says 4th period, if that means anything to you. So, but that's some magnificent art. I'll go back. I just want to say, just magnificent creations that you look at. If you look at the detail on this, these are coming from middle school students who get to express themselves through this art form. And with that, I will stand for any questions.
Okay, thank you so much. Dr. Cleveland, do you want to add anything?
I would just add, really emphasize the importance of this money and the need to not flow it through the formula. And I can give you an example of what happened to Rio Rancho. About 3 years ago, we had our instructional materials outside of the formula, and the decision was made to run it through the formula. And that year we were $1.5 million short in terms of our instructional materials for the district. So we get on average about 85 cents on the dollar in terms of the way the funding formula works in New Mexico. So things like fine arts and CTE need to keep it out of the formula if at all possible, because it just means that we will get considerably less and the costs are pretty much the same. So I know you've worked very hard. You've worked with our delegation. They've affirmed their commitment to trying to work to keep it outside. And it's really wonderful to hear other districts are on board as well and are getting ready to testify. But again, it's often the medium-sized districts that, for somehow these days, they're getting the short end of the stick in terms of funding. So thank you for all your hard work on this. But we have a wonderful elementary music and art program, and we don't want to lose that. And so we hope that we can convince LESC not to go that direction.
I would add, I'm not sure who's listening and maybe the audience members here, but if you just Google LESC New Mexico, their website comes up. The members of the LESC are shown there. Drop them a line, drop them an email, and let them know how you think. So this again, we're hoping to make it very, very well known to them that we think this is a bad idea.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for bringing that. Gary, any questions or comments?
Thank you.
Beth Miller?
No, thank you very much.
And Jessica Tyler?
My only question, or I just wanted to clarify, the slide said it was for the 2023-2024 budget, but it's 2024 to 2025, correct? Or is that?
It's on here that way, 24, 25, right? 24, 25.
This is for next year's funding.
Correct.
Sorry, I'm using an old template.
It's okay. I just wanted to verify.
Okay. Yeah, so it is for the 24-25 school year.
Awesome.
And Jeff Morgan, did you have any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Okay.
And just a point of clarification, on the application, it says 24, 23, 24.
Yes, it does.
It does, okay.
Yes.
I wonder, that was sent to us from PED. I'm wondering whether it's a mistake.
No. The application says 24, 25.
Yeah,
Sorry,
okay.
just the slide
Okay.
said. So I just didn't know if the slides were reflecting just to show this year's budget or if that was still covering what would be in this
It
proposal.
simply reflects my inadequacy
No, you're good.
of using
We all do.
templates.
Yes. I just wanted to verify. Okay. With that, I will make a motion to approve the Fine Arts Education Act application for 2024 to 2025.
Board member.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Jessica Tyler and a second by Beth Miller. And JC, can you take a roll call vote for us, please?
Vice President Morgan,
Yes.
Secretary Tyler,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Miller,
Yes.
President Galbraith.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, thank you.
And I will need signatures from you, President Galbraith, on the assurances page. Yes,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
see that. Okay, yeah, and it does have the correct, we're good. We're good to go. So yeah, everything's good to go.
Thank you
Thank
so
you. Thank you. Okay, our next business item is to consider the approval of the public school capital outlay 24-25 broadband development and connectivity. Scott Leppelman, our Executive Director of Information Technology, will present.
President Galbraith, Dr. Cleveland, members of the board, thanks for having me. This one's quick and easy. I've been here a few times for these now. This is to certify the money that we applied for special construction for our fiber project that we're doing around the city. This basically just says we can receive the funding, certify to receive the funding, and we'll get about, I think it was $206,000, and that's great. So.
Okay, any questions from the board on that? Jeff, did you have any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Anyone want to give me a motion?
Board Member Tyler, I'll make a motion to approve the public school capital outlay 2024 to 2025 broadband development and connectivity program.
Board Member Gary Tripp, I'll second.
Okay. We've got a motion by Jessica Tyler and a second by Gary Tripp, and then JC, if you'll take a roll call.
Vice President Morgan,
Yes.
Secretary Tyler,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Miller,
Yes.
President Galbraith.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Did you want to add anything on that?
No, it's just every little bit helps, and this helps. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And then now we'll go to consider the approval of the naming of the CTE Center as the Skilled Trades and Technology Center. Should I have not said that part out loud until Carl gets up here? Carl Leppelman, our Chief Academic Officer, will present.
President Galbraith, members of the board, Dr. Cleveland, I was up here in April. You approved the actual entire complex to be the Rio Tech, and that includes every building on that site. So before you have a recommendation to Dr. Sue Cleveland to actually name the facility, the Skilled Trades Facility, as the Skilled Trades and Technology Center. In other words, the STTC. I think that rolls off the tongue fairly well. So I stand for questions.
I know, I was just trying to say that.
Right. So I stand for questions.
Any questions from the board? Beth, did you want to make any of your thoughts known? You were talking about this earlier. Beth was saying in hubs that they added like of hubs. And so I thought that, I don't know if we want to add of Rio Rancho, but I thought that was kind of an interesting.
Oh, thanks, President Galbraith. I think your Rio Tech covers that. It's a hub. And you know, their center is quite large, and Hobbs is where it came from. But this is for a building, correct? The technology center.
Current
Okay.
building under renovation.
Thank you.
Yep. Just that. Jessica, any questions?
My only question is, I thought at one point we had talked about naming the school, and this is naming the buildings. Is that still?
So the school is the Rio Tech.
Well, the complex is the Rio Tech, right?
Which is,
You know, it gets convoluted.
That's what I'm at. So I just don't know. When we get asked questions, I want to make sure I answer it in the correct manner.
Absolutely, before you have a motion.
Yes.
Yes, as you remember, we do have a partner, C&M, and they've been great to work with in the sense that, by the way, we both worked on the Rio Tech together. And it does stand for the Rio Rancho Technical Education Center, a career hub, so it's a career hub, which would be inclusive of their building, which we envision as a two leadership groups that would be out on the marquee. It'd be the main thing you'd see. It'd be a joint look at it, talking about that. So I think people are going to say that's a Rio Tech as they drive by. Within that, this building would be the joint Skilled Trades and Technology Center, in the sense that it would be both the name of the school and in that actual building. Because I walk in, I attend, pretend I'm a senior many years ago, I'd say I'm attending the Skilled Trades and Technology Center. So that actually is one and the same, the school in that building.
so if we were like, we're going to go to the graduation for the STT.
STTC.
Okay.
And you could even say, you can actually, a lot of organizations say STT. They drop the center kind of concept. So you can do a lot of branding with that. And I do think, and Dr. Johnson has said multiple times, I believe, that the students, yet they're college students, have to have identity for their high school, for the school. But again, remember, CNM felt pretty strongly in the negotiations that we didn't call it like the skilled trades and technology high school or Rio Rancho High School. I think they're trying to get away from that concept that it's not only high school, I'm a college student. So unlike college and career high school that Todd Resch was the principal of, which sits on the CNM campus, this will look a little different than that.
Okay. Any other questions? Jeff, do you have any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Dr. Cleveland?
I want to be really sure the board understands that when CNM builds the automotive center, they will name it. And as a courtesy, they will bring it to the board, but they will make the final decision on that building. This is also kind of like in Albuquerque's Career Enrichment Center, and that's their high school for this kind of a program. And so somewhat similar to that. So, but there will be a second building, maybe some point a third. So this is for just the building that we have right now.
I'll make a motion to approve the name of the CTE building as the Skilled Trades and Technology Center.
This board member Jeff Morgan, I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Jessica Tyler and a second by Jeff Morgan. And JC, if you'll take a roll call vote.
Vice President Morgan,
Yes.
Secretary Tyler,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Miller,
Yes.
President Galbraith.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll now consider a motion to convene in a closed executive session to discuss pending or threatened litigation with the superintendent and legal counsel as permitted under section 10-15-1H7, and to discuss the purchase, acquisition, or disposal of real property or water rights by the public body, specifically for the superintendent to inform the board about potential property transactions as permitted under section 10-15-1H8 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, perfect. We have a motion and a second. And JC, can you take a roll call vote for us on this?
Motion.
Jessica Tyler, sorry. The one time I don't say it.
Vice President Morgan,
Yes.
Secretary Tyler,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Miller,
Yes.
President Galbraith.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, thank you. We'll now go into executive session. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Did they finish? Okay.
The board met in a closed executive session to discuss pending or threatened litigation with the superintendent and legal counsel as permitted under section 10-15-1H7 and to discuss the purchase, acquisition, or disposal of real property or water rights by the public body, specifically for the superintendent to inform the board about potential property transactions as permitted under section 10-15-1H8 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act. And our meeting tonight is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.